Welcome back, Yankee fan. This is episode number 65 of the Chase for 28 podcast. My name is Chris, and I am joined again. Things are going good here by the podcast paisano, AJ. What's going on?
Things are going good. That's how we can say this? Is that where we're going? Things are going good.
We must be talking about our personal lives.
Oh, okay. Well, personal life, things are going good. Yankee baseball, not that so good. Not so good.
Things are changing, yet they stay the same.
Things are changing? Oh, I guess they're changing. They're losing more.
Yes.
Okay. I was going to say, what is changing?
Well, welcome back to another episode. If you are a new listener, welcome. Thanks for checking out the podcast. If you're a returning listener, welcome back. We're glad you're checking it out. We're actually live streaming this episode on our YouTube channel. So if you're watching live, thank you. You feel free to chat with us. And if you are listening to this on the podcast side, we might try to do some more YouTube streams. Make sure you go over to our website, chasefor28.com, where you can get all the special magical links to the places we do stuff. All right, AJ.
Let's go.
This team sucks.
Yeah, just about, yeah.
All right, here we go. So we are out of the All-Star break. All right.
Oh, let's do the trivia first.
Do the trivia first.
Before,
okay,
before we start, because we can go way down the rabbit hole today.
We got a number. This is like an ant colony.
Yeah.
All right. What's our Yankee baseball brain buster?
All right. So the date is July 17th in the year of 1941. Here's your question.
Dun, 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 dun.
Joe DiMaggio's remarkable hit streak, 56-game hitting streak, ended today, 17th, 1941, but only because of two dynamite fielding plays by what Cleveland third baseman? Yeah, I told you it was a good one.
I got distracted by the fact that the 2023 Yankees suck, and you're giving me the date where the streak ends.
Yeah. It's a good question, though. It's on this day in history, so you listen on this day, you get a good hit. You get a good question.
This day in Yankee history. The answer coming up before the show ends, and I will embarrass myself with an attempted answer later on in the show.
You got it. Let's go. Let's talk.
All right. AJ, as we record this, this team is 50-44.
No, at least they have 50 wins. That's
They have 50 wins. And once again, as they have been very consistent all season long, they are in fourth place in the AL East. They are 9 back of the division-leading Tampa Bay Rays. And the reality is, AJ, fourth place in the AL East means they are tied for last with the Boston Red Sox.
Oh, yeah. First time they've been this far in last place
since like 1992?
Since the 90s. It was 1990.
1990.
Yeah.
Also, as we're recording this, the Baltimore Orioles swept the Marlins in their series out of the gate in the quote-unquote second half. And the Baltimore Orioles are a game out of first place, one game behind the Tampa Bay Rays.
That's fantastic. Good for them. You know why I love that, and I talked about this last time.
Because of Aaron Hicks.
They're doing it right. They're doing it right. That's it. It's bottom line. These teams they're doing it right.
All right. Is it right, or are they doing it better?
Better than what? The Yankees aren't using their youth.
Okay,
so they're doing it right.
Right is a very subjective way to look at this.
Okay. I like what they're doing. I like how they're using their youth. I like how they're using these guys to really, win. That's it. They're winning with youth.
Don't get me wrong. I agree. And I got a lot of things here in our notes document that kind of lead us down that hole of what the youth is, what the youth is doing. So we're going to talk about Utes in this episode.
More than 2.
More than 2. So the Yankees lose 2 out of 3 to the Colorado Rockies. AJ, they've lost a number of series this season to teams that back in March we probably thought they should be losing to.
Yeah.
So they've lost to the Rockies. They lost a series to the Cubs. They lost a series to the Reds. They lost a series to the Cardinals.
Right. And we got a series coming up against the Angels, who we probably shouldn't lose to. Because I don't think Shohei's pitching.
Okay, that's a plus.
but he's still going to hit.
That's true. That's true. We got Severino going on the mound to start that series
Great.
in Anaheim.
Wonderful.
Maybe some of these guys will be auditioning.
Whatever.
Want to give a big shout out and welcome our brand new hitting coach. Last time we spoke, they had just fired a hitting coach that we had no idea who he was. And now Aaron Boone and the organization have brought in Aaron's friend, Sean Casey.
The mayor. The mayor, Sean Casey. And I love,
Here's
you
what
know what's funny about
Go ahead, go ahead.
I was going to say, I love it. Everybody's like, well, Sean Casey's a hitting coach now. Why is he not doing anything? Like, he had 4 days. And like 3 of those days, nobody was there. So what do you expect from the guy? Like, people who don't hit aren't just going to hit because one guy's like, hey, great swing.
Okay, I agree with, anybody who thinks that whoever they hire is going to come in and change it, sorry,
Yeah.
no.
No.
All right?
Not happening.
The hitting coach is the equivalent of, if we're going to go education, a guidance counselor. They're not going to make a real difference in your life, but they're going to try and be a cheerleader. When things are going well, they're going to be around. They're going to say, hey, you did that well, keep doing that. And they might give you some advice here or there, but they're not making a huge difference in your life. And a hitting coach does not, because everybody hits differently. And by the time you get to this level, you have your style of hitting. Right?
Yes. 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 Well, go ahead. What were you going to say about Sean Casey? Tell us.
No, I was just going to say that one thing he's got going for him is he did have to shave a beard, but he left a mustache as a tribute to Don Mattingly. That's nice.
Mustache looks good. Yep. Looks good.
That's about all I got to say about Sean Casey. Welcome aboard. You thought the offense was coming alive this weekend.
All right, then. Good luck.
Good luck. Let's see. Other news items.
A little bit. They do
AJ.
some things.
Are we on some kind of delay?
Yeah. What do you got?
I
I guess so.
I got a question for
I
you.
heard you say news items, so I guess I'm really on a delay here.
News items. Question for you.
Yeah.
Have we seen the last of Josh Donaldson as he hits the IL?
Yes, I think Josh Donaldson is gone. I think this was an injury, but it also is a blessing in disguise. I think I'm going to guess Peraz is here to stay unless they trade him for something. But I think this is the end of Josh Donaldson.
Good. And Peraza contributed today. Yes, the Yankees lost, but he did get a hit. Drove in a run, I think.
Individual stats sometimes, right? Yeah, he did. He got the RBI in the 11th.
Yes. Fun fact about today's game, if you want to do fun facts. And I just saw this on Twitter.
Tell me a fun fact.
Fun fact. This came from ESPN, not Elias. But today's game was the first time in Yankee history that the Yankees lost a game where they, at 2 points in the game after the 8th inning, led by 2 runs.
The first time ever?
The first time ever when, after the 8th inning, when they had a lead of 2 or more runs, twice they've lost.
Ever.
Ever.
Ever. Ever.
Ever.
Long franchise. Ever.
Ever.
Oh, goodness.
Also on a positive note, Aaron Judge took batting practice at Coors Field.
Yay.
Did a little running. Although prior to seeing that bit of footage and reading about it, I had seen, I think yesterday, that they were talking, if they push him on this, he could obviously re-injure it, and then it could be a nagging, always there, something he's dealing with for the rest of his career.
Sure.
Or let him heal, and then it won't be something he's got to deal with.
Right. Right. Look, I think we spoke about this last time. The Yankees are not going to settle. They're going to do what they can to get him on the field, get butts in the seats. right? Because everybody knows you're watching the game and going to the game because of him. They may keep winning, obviously not enough, but there's no reason to push him. There's no reason. You let one of the doctors really have been terrible for the Yankees, but you've let him kind of determine like how he feels. Like, do not just put a timeline out there because that's going to be dangerous for this guy. We got 8 more years, and he's our everything. So you just let him take his time and be easy.
I hope that's the plan.
It's not, because they're gonna push, because they're gonna get desperate. They're gonna get to the trade deadline. They're not gonna make the deals they need. They're gonna get desperate, and things are gonna fall apart.
Well, thanks for that happy perspective.
No problem. That's what I'm here for. I bring the positive.
What? All right. Let's see. You want to talk potential trades?
We can, but I don't think you're gonna like what I say. But go ahead.
Hey, we're partners.
Yeah, no.
I'm with you.
Okay, let's go.
All right. I have this phrased as, should the Yankees trade for? So, but don't take this as you've got to give me like yes or no's. But these are obviously a lot of the names that are being floated around.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get our take on, do we want to see some of these players in pinstripes?
Sure.
All right. David Robertson. Should
No.
they get David Robertson back from the Mets?
No. I'm sorry.
But why?
You didn't want me to say yes or no.
Saves.
No, I know. Yes, great piece to have. Would have been fantastic today because Clay Holmes is garbage. Would have been a great piece, but I don't see a need for him if we're not winning at the clip that we need to win at to be in the playoffs. And I'm going to say that I'm going to set the stage here for all these guys. I'm saying that for all these guys because giving up a lot to do nothing is problematic for the future.
And I'm glad you say it that way because I saw some polls on the socials. Should the Yankees be buyers, sellers, or stand pat? Part of me thinks that they should move pieces.
Yes.
And like peace, give the kids a chance.
That was a little corny, but I get what you're saying.
You understand what I'm saying?
I do. Yes.
Because I think that goes along with what you started the show with about Baltimore is doing it right. Cincinnati.
Pittsburgh.
This infusion of youth.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw another thing. Austin Wells. He's 24 years old. Why is he playing Double-A?
Right. Then that's as I said, that's always concerning when these guys who are up there in age and have been in the organization for a long time are that low. What does that show for their future? Right.
I mean, we looked at. I was looking today, and we talked about some of the prospects last week. I was looking at that top 30 list again today.
Yeah.
And there are guys that we have and would still consider to be young players and certainly rookies. They're not even in that top 30.
Right.
Estevan Florial, he's not a top 30 prospect.
Which is amazing. So
as
amazing.
noted by Major League Baseball.
Right.
Davy Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
Not in that top 30. Heel is, but again, he's coming back from that injury, whatever.
Yep.
But I was looking at those rosters today between AAA and AA, and I'm like, why aren't,
Right.
It's almost like, do they need to not make the playoffs and kind of rebuild?
I think they do. And I think this is, and the year is wrong. I apologize. 2016. I think this is where we're at right here. Like, they shipped off pieces, but they still were able to compete and still made the playoffs that year.
They did.
And then in 2017, they came back, and that's when they really made their run with the youth. I think some guys need to go, and I think you need to start bringing up your young guys that you keep saying that are the guys. You let Peraza now do his thing. You let Volpe do his thing. You let Cabrera do his thing. The pitching's not going to go anywhere. I don't think you should unload the pitching unless you're unloading Severino and Herman.
Yeah.
And I think those two guys are on the trade block, especially Severino, because I don't think they're going to re-sign him after this year. Is it this year or next year? I think it's this year.
He's a free agent after this year.
It is this year. So I think I think the writing is on the wall for him. Like there's no need to audition for us because we know who you are, and you're not who we thought you were.
And you know, when you think about it like that, it's almost like if we're not going to be good, let's find out what we've got.
Right.
Let the kids play, and
Yep.
if they suck, all right, then the rest of the league will know that our prospects were worthless.
Yep.
But then you know what? Then you can fall back on, we're the Yankees. Let's start writing checks.
Exactly. And they're fine with that unless the owner just says, no, you know what, we're just going to stay what we have because I don't want to spend money. But they put the insurance on there, so
I also started to see the rumblings on social after the game today. You know, obviously sky is falling, Rome is burning, the whole thing.
Oh, they
You know,
looked awful.
Fire Boone, fire
Yeah.
like everybody's got to
Of
go.
course. Of course. Yeah. That's going to happen. I'm not going to sit here and say that, but okay, go ahead.
I did see a funny tweet from Stacey Gatsuli. She hosts
Mhm.
Locked On Yankees.
Yep.
That she was like, you know, I'm paraphrasing, like, what is this team doing? You know, Cashman has to go. They've done nothing under him. And if you want to say 2009, you can't because then that's when the son said, oh, daddy's dying. Let's spend money.
Right. It's unfortunate. That's the truth, right? That was the look at what they did there. They got 4 major players on that team. And I think, look, I think the best thing for the Yankees is when they finish like this, when they play like this, because then they actually have to step up. They have to start going. But the problem is there's nobody out there right now. There's nobody out there right now that you can say as a free agent that you need to go get. Don't tell me Shohei. Don't do it. Don't.
Well,
Don't.
hold on.
That's a major problem for the Yankees, not for baseball, for the Yankees. He's a problem waiting to happen.
We'll go on.
Well, think about it. How many DH spots do you have on a team?
Okay. A lot of pieces.
We already have 4 DHs on this
if
team.
If you want Shohei Ohtani, let's say they could acquire him in the offseason. They've got to find a way to move Giancarlo Stanton.
Well,
if they want to trade for him, they've got to find a way to move him.
Right. But then what? But
I'm just saying.
Okay, but so now you have Shohei.
Okay.
Right? You still have Judge. You still have Rizzo. You still have LeMahieu.
LeMahieu's got to go.
You're going to shuffle all these. Who's taking these guys now? Because nobody's going to want to take a 4-year contract for LeMahieu.
I didn't say it was possible. I'm just saying what has to happen.
Right. I don't think Shohei is a reasonable approach because he needs to be the DH. There's no question. You don't put him in the outfield. He's not going to play first base. And I heard some knucklehead on the radio. I can't even say who it was. One of the hosts was like, well, maybe they put Judge at first base. You don't put Judge at first base. He can't. That's even worse than putting him in the outfield. He's going to dive after a ball every time. That's not smart. Right? You can't get Shohei because of his secondary position. You lose your DH for Judge. He's going to need it, right? He's going to need rest. You can't put him 162 games, and you see what happens when he's not in the lineup. So you can't have him at DH. Shohei doesn't play anywhere else. He'll pitch. What if he can't pitch anymore? It's a problem for the Yankees. He's a wonderful player. He's a unicorn. He really is somebody who you want to see, and you want butts in the seats. But besides the position, if you're Aaron Judge, if you're the face of the team, how do you feel about having Shohei with you?
That wouldn't be the first time in team history you had multiple superstars.
And that was a problem too, wasn't it?
I was going back to happier times.
Oh,
winning cures all.
I thought you were going with Jeter and A-Rod.
No, I was going back to the 50s and the 60s.
Got you. Look, Shohei would be fantastic. You don't trade for him. You don't trade for him, first of all, because you have to give up too much, right?
When you could legitimately go try to sign him if you wanted him.
And I don't think he wants to be here.
No, I don't think so either. Because when you go, I saw, you go back and you look when he was coming over in 2017, all the teams that he was willing to talk to, they were all, the furthest east was the Cubs.
Right. This isn't his area.
No.
I think he's going to stay on the West Coast. He's not staying with the Angels. That's Look, Seattle's a great place for him, and he probably loved it there. He loved Ichiro, so why not follow in his mentor's footsteps? Right? Look, great player, once in a generation. He doesn't belong here. let's just be realistic Yankee fans and not be those knuckleheads who always like, well, we get everybody. No, he doesn't belong here. Okay?
He doesn't fit what this team is doing. They would have to change too much to accommodate him.
Right. Because you're saying you got to get rid of Giancarlo. You won't. You got to get rid of DJ. You won't. Right? You're not gonna get rid of Rizzo. Like there's too many things there that just don't work. It just doesn't work.
Well, let me bring up another name.
Go ahead.
Juan Soto.
See, now that's a different story.
Talk to me.
That's a left fielder, and that is exactly what they said they needed so badly. So maybe this was the plan, right? Because Cashman, I know it didn't work out last year because of injuries. Benintendi, other guy whose name I really can't remember anymore. The pitcher. Yep,
Just
Montas.
Montas. He might be back in August.
Yep, okay, sure.
Okay,
me too.
Right.
I'll be back in August too. Look, Soto is a wonderful addition because it's probably not a major trade piece to give up. Like you're not going to look at it and say, okay, we have to give up Volpe and Dominguez and X, Y, and Z because for Shohei that's what you have to give up. For Soto, you probably give up a little bit and then you sign him because you need the left fielder and there's no way you can be like, well, we don't need a left fielder. We have Jake Bowers, or we have Frenchie Cordero, or guy who sits in the left field bleachers. Doesn't matter, right? You'll have Juan Soto in left field. That is actually a move that would be great. Fits nicely in that second hole. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's one I'd be okay with.
And again, Juan Soto, he's 24.
Exactly.
He doesn't turn 25 till October.
Right. That's a 10-year deal that you're like, okay, we can waste 10 years on him.
Yeah.
He's not 34 going for a 10-year deal.
No.
Or 31 going for a 10-year deal, right? This is a guy who's in the prime of his career. Having a little bit of a down year, but I think that's San Diego.
But you know what? You say he's having a down year.
Right. It's still
Hold on.
Great numbers.
He comes to the... Besides Judge, nobody has an OPS over 800 on this team, or even close.
Interesting.
Right? Juan Soto in a down year. One, he was an all-star this year.
Of course he was. I mean, that's a fan thing. I don't always look at that, but go ahead.
He's played 93 games this year.
Okay.
320 at bats, 85 hits, 22 doubles, 16 home runs, 50 RBIs, 6 stolen bases, 86 walks.
That's what I was just. He's got more walks than hits, and that's what the Yankees need.
Could he be a leadoff hitter? Because this team has no leadoff hitter.
Gleyber Torres. Every time we put,
I know, but every
time you put him in that leadoff hole, he does great things.
Okay, but I don't think long term he's a leadoff hitter.
Long term, he won't be here. So for now, you let him be a leadoff hitter.
He might be going to San Diego.
Very true. Very, very true. Which is fine because then you put Cabrera at second base.
Yeah.
Or Peraza, or whatever.
Okay. So Juan Soto, you're down for.
I'm okay with that. Again, and yes, and I told you who else I'd be down for, and that was, I don't know if you have him on the list this time, but I don't think you do because we talked about it last time. That was Clay Bellinger. So one of those two guys. Those are my 1 and 2.
Cody Bellinger.
What did I say? I said Clay? My bad. Yeah, Cody. But that's my 1A, 1B. I love those two. Those two guys would be okay.
All right. Thoughts on the following player?
Yeah.
Third baseman
I know.
from the Cardinals,
I know.
Nolan Arenado. What do you think?
That dude that's a future Hall of Famer right there. You can't say no to him, right? But what do you give up? You're gonna have to give up. You probably have to give up a lot. You probably have to give up a lot more than you would for Soto. I would be great. That's the kind of guy like, wow, he'd be fantastic. Because I think he's under contract for a while. So you just roll over that contract for years. We'll pay that. That's fine. I'm cool with it, but I don't know what it would take because I don't know how serious the Cardinals are to get rid of him. Because it's a down year for the Cardinals doesn't mean next year's not going to be a down year.
That's true. This is a very un-Cardinal-like year
exactly
for the Cardinals.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay. So really, the two pieces we are really looking at would be Bellinger and now, I've only heard this in the last couple of days of Juan Soto.
Right. And I only heard it because Jeter said something on the All-Star game telecast.
Yes.
So yeah, so my three guys that I would say yes to would be Soto, Bellinger, Arenado, and catcher. Maybe.
I'd rather have them look within.
I don't know what we have.
I just need somebody to catch the ball.
Maybe
Which
like
brings us to my next thing. What
Like
about,
Atkins.
pitching? Is there any pitchers out there, or are we just what are we rolling with here?
Yeah, I guess you're gonna kind of go with what you have.
And thank God for Cole, because without him,
Right.
we'd be in 5th place.
Well, it really doesn't make a difference because he didn't get the win today. They still lost and he pitched.
But he pitched well. Bullpen
pitched great.
coughed it up.
Yeah, he gave up one run.
Coughed it up.
Right.
Actually, on that note, congratulations to Garrett Cole, because he is now the franchise leader in 10 or more strikeout games with 24.
Way to go, Garrett.
He passed Ron Guidry. I didn't understand a graphic that was put out. I don't think the Yankees put this out, but they listed 4 people, and CC Sabathia was in the graphic, and he only had 2.
Oh. Okay.
Didn't understand that, but
Yeah, I didn't see that, so I have to take a peek at that graphic, I guess.
yeah, Cole today, 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned, a walk, and 11 strikeouts. Ultimately, they lost, so it means nothing.
It's nothing.
Also, over the weekend, Giancarlo Stanton picked up his 1,000th career RBI,
Good for him.
hit some bombs in Coors Field.
He did.
Although
Almost did another one, too.
up until today's game ended, he was going to be my primary spotlight player, because it seemed like he was like mashing the ball.
Yes.
But then he was like 0 for today. So I still have him on here. So in the 3 games against the Rockies, he was 3 for 11, a double, 2 homers, 6 RBI, and a walk. But they lost 2 out of 3.
Yeah.
Gleyber Torres, on the other hand, even though they lost,
There's the guy.
He is hot out of the gate. 7 for his last 15 over this weekend, triple and an RBI. So he's hitting the baseball.
Yep. That's all you need. Get on base.
Get on base.
Get on base.
All right.
We have
Other
winnable
thoughts on this?
series.
Shall we look ahead?
Yeah, so let's look ahead. I don't have any more thoughts because I don't like where the Yankees are at right now, and I think that I think that trade deadline is coming real fast. And
Well, I have the upcoming schedule, and as we look ahead through July 30th, I know there's 31 days, but I tried to keep it neat. All
That's
right.
nice.
July 17th through the 19th, they will be in Anaheim against the Angels for 3 games. Then they have an off day, and then they are home for Kansas City for 3 games. Then they have an off day. It's like last year. They don't play on Mondays.
Nope. Second half, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah.
This year they don't play a lot of Mondays.
Yep. Second half of the Subway Series, July 25th and 26th, 2 games at home against the Mets. And then they are on the road
For the first place
July.
Orioles.
July 28th through the, okay, words are hard. July 28th to the 30th at Baltimore, followed by a 3-game series at Tampa Bay.
There you go.
That's their season right there.
And if you look at the dates right there, you're saying it's 28th to the 30th for Baltimore.
Yes.
And
And the
then
31st, they're in Tampa.
31st,
think,
they're in
or they're home
Tampa.
for Tampa.
And that's the trade deadline is August 1st. Is that correct?
Isn't it like, is it August 1st or is it the 31st?
I thought it was August 1st. But either way,
Okay.
by that time, if the Yankees go into Baltimore and double digits out, it's
They
very
are
possible.
home against
It's
the
very
Rays.
possible. They're home
Oh,
against the Rays.
Wait, here you go. Let's go a little bit into August.
Yeah, go ahead. Tough
So,
schedule.
Yeah, I got it. July 31st through August 2nd, 3 games at home against Tampa,
Okay.
followed by a 4-game series against the Astros at home.
That's the first time they're playing the Astros, right? Oh,
Yep.
man. You know what? The Astros are not the Astros this year. They gave up 13 runs to the Angels over the weekend and lost.
Yeah, but until the Astros don't make it to the World Series,
Yeah, the Astros got to make the playoffs, man. Texas is no joke.
that's true. This could be a very strange year for
Could
baseball
be,
fans.
right? And everything seems to be working out.
Everything's
Everything is-
coming up. We suck.
Yep. Fans are happy.
So anyway, we have a tough road ahead of us through August 6th.
Who's after the Astros?
You want to just take us into August real quick? We're
A
going to do
little
these
bit.
games.
Just a little bit. I'm just kind of curious.
All right, so home for the
I'm
Astros.
only asking because of the trade deadline. I'm really wondering where the Yankees could be falling because
All
they're
right,
9
so
games
we got our
out.
pre-trade deadline. Here's where they're at
Right.
post trade deadline.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay,
Mm-hmm.
Houston, on the road for the White Sox,
Mm-hmm.
on the road at the Marlins, on the road at the Braves, and that takes us through August 16th.
Okay, and I asked that because I wonder if any of those games after the trading deadline would be games where we can jump back up. Those are not games that we can jump back up. We can jump back against Baltimore and Tampa. So they really need to. So I would say if they're doing anything, they're doing it before the 28th.
Yeah. Do you want roughly the rest? I'll give you the rest of August.
No, it's okay.
I'm still going to give it to you.
Okay.
So what I say? On the road against the White Sox, on the road against the Marlins, on the
Yep.
road against the Braves, home for the Red Sox,
Okay.
home for the Nationals,
Mm.
on the road for the Rays, on the road at Detroit to finish the month.
Okay. So very, very winnable series right now, as probably a lot of those teams that you named are going to be sellers.
Right.
So very winnable. If the Yankees decide that, hey, we can still get in this. That's why I really think it's very important to have something in line before the 28th. So you set the tone with the Orioles and with the Rays as this is our new look. Be ready for us as we go forward.
Meaning they face the Orioles. So you're saying they've got to make some trades
Prior to the 28th.
before the 28th.
Yeah, which is not like them because usually it's like deadline.
Right.
And I don't think you want to wait because those are, what would you say, 2-3 game series, right? Orioles and Rays. That's
Yeah.
That's 6 games where you can make some noise,
Yes.
and you have your best pitching probably going. You're gonna have to have your best pitching going. You're gonna have
Yeah.
Rodon. You're gonna have Cole. You're gonna have Nestor back allegedly.
Hopefully.
I don't know, man.
He's
If they're
scheduled to come
doing
off
anything,
the DL on August 1st, so
that-
he might be in line to pitch August 1st or August 2nd against the Rays.
So I really think that if they have something in line, you're going to see a trade coming up the next couple of weeks. And if they don't make that big trade before that, they're not doing it.
They could make that trade over the weekend against.
I don't see it. Doesn't make sense. You want to. I feel like if
You want to
I'm
go
the
into
G-
Baltimore with your new look.
Yep.
Here's who we're going to battle
Yep.
with.
Yep. Be ready.
So you want on the field Bellinger or an Arenado or a
Or
Juan
Soto. Right.
walking into Baltimore.
Exactly. I want all the pieces in place. Like these are the 2 series we need to win. When do we play Toronto anymore?
Do we play? Yeah, because remember there was bad
September,
blood.
right? Yeah. Yeah.
They don't play Toronto again. Oh, it's their one of their last road series of the year, not till like the end of September,
Wow, that's late.
and that's only 3
That's
games.
good though. That's good though, because let Toronto fall apart. They're going to do it on their own.
Yeah, I would say big second half series would be obviously Baltimore, Tampa Bay,
Houston,
Boston, because I mean you got to beat them to
you got
pass
to beat them. Oh yeah, and they haven't done that all year.
A series in Tampa Bay at the end of August. And then if we go into September, you got 4 against the Red Sox. In September, the last 2 weeks, you've got a home series with the Blue Jays and a road series with the Blue Jays.
Okay,
2-3 game sets. So there's 6 games left with
There's
Toronto.
there's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of opportunity to get back.
But they also
into
got a series with the Pirates, the Brewers, the
it. And
Tigers.
Those teams are no jokes. No, Tigers.
That's
Tigers
true.
are surprising people every now and then. It's weird.
Yeah.
Look, I don't think this team, as it is constructed right now, is a team that we're going to see at the end of the month. And I don't think they're going to roll over. I just don't think it's going to happen.
AJ, the team we're looking at can't be the team we see by next Thursday. It has to be a different team in
Right.
8 days,
Yeah, you're right.
which is kind of exciting at the prospect.
A little bit. A little bit.
Well, speaking of prospects, Susan, let's go down on the farm for a little bit here, shall we?
For a little bit.
So, AAA, some names that stand out. Obviously, Florial, Everson Pereira, Clayton Beater, Davey Garcia. Pereira and Beater are your number 4 and number 13 organizational prospects.
Mm-hmm.
All right. At AA, you've got Dominguez and Wells, 1 and 2, respectively.
Mm-hmm.
And at Class A, nobody in A ball is going to be coming to the Bronx this year.
Nope.
But you got Spencer Jones and this Drew Thorpe pitcher making some noise on the bump in the last couple of days. I believe he had a game where he struck out. No, it was either Beater or Thorpe had a 10 or 11 strikeout game.
That's pretty good. Good for them.
Good for them.
Mental strength. You need it. It's good.
I got to, pardon me, fantasize like, okay, let's say they do the whole hold and don't acquire anybody. But let's say they sell.
Okay.
Who's your left fielder?
I guess it would be Cabrera.
Ugh.
I don't know. Like Bowers is coming back, so like you let it be Bowers.
I don't give a crap about Jake Bowers.
I know. But like,
if we want to infuse
we
youth,
just said
who
the
do you want to
Yankees-
see?
I mean, I guess
You want to see your number 4 prospect Pereira make
Yeah.
his major league debut in August?
I guess if you do that, and you say that, or you say Pereira, or you say Dominguez. Like, if you're gonna do it, and you're gonna commit to the future, and that's what you do,
Yeah.
right?
We need new baby bombers.
Don't say that anymore.
Jason Dominguez is in
Hot.
Fuego. He is hot right now. Yes,
Hot.
very
So
hot.
hot right now.
I mean, I believe on the year he's batting like 260 something.
Yeah,
but
but I
over
think
the
in-
last 2 weeks,
Yeah, I think in July he's
weeks?
just been on a tear.
yes. So he's making some noise.
Yeah, his July is 11 games, 310 batting average, 408 on base, 813 slugging, and 7 stolen bases.
Nice.
You?
And how old is he?
20?
20.
20.
All right. So potential youth infusion coming. Maybe some of these people we see at some point. Obviously, we have Peraza back due to the Donaldson injury. And again, hopefully that's the last we see of Josh Donaldson. Please take all the time you need to heal whatever it is that happened to you. Hamstring, is that a 2-month injury?
I think his ego is bruised, so
Good.
That might
Get
be
him
it.
out of here. Anyway, all right. A couple around the MLB.
go ahead and talk to me.
Bryce Harper played first base this week
Yes, he is.
after more than a year at DH.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he hit a home run today.
He went over the yeah, he's back.
Yes, sir.
He's back.
He's back. Bryce doing Bryce things.
Yep. Could have been a Yankee.
Could have been. How is he not? I don't understand.
John Carlos Stanton.
Oh, that's right.
Machado too.
Oh, Machado.
Giancarlo.
Giancarlo.
No, it's Stuparlo.
The Brewers, they're alone in first place after
Which is
3 straight shutout wins.
Man, that team is that you don't even realize that they win.
Yeah. They still play in the county stadium, right? No.
Oh, yes. Milwaukee.
Really.
It's Algonquin.
If you don't get that reference, you're not old.
Yeah, that's true.
AJ, I discovered a new podcast. Surprise, I have a podcast recommendation for you on this show.
Hey, look at that. Different show, different podcast.
Yes. Came across, and I've listened to a couple episodes of the Babes podcast. Want to give a shout out to Jonna Perlinger, Kelsey Bird, and Madison Eisen. 3 very passionate Yankee fans.
Ooh.
And they host a podcast called Babes podcast.
I like it. I have to give it a listen.
A little hot pink in the logo, a little Babe Ruth in the logo.
Okay. Let's take a peek at this bad boy.
I will link in our show notes, and maybe we could do a little crossover
There you go.
action.
Crossover is always good.
Yeah, but they've had some great guests. They've got 11 or 12 episodes out,
Okay.
so they are a younger podcast.
That's all right. Got to
but
start somewhere.
some good guests, some good Yankee content, so we want to show them some love. So if you enjoy us, you'll probably enjoy them more. especially if you're watching.
Yeah. There you go. Makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know why we're
Makes sense.
streaming on YouTube.
Yeah, who knows?
So you got anything else, my friend?
Um,
Oh, there is that one other thing. Yeah, go ahead.
what's the one other thing?
Trivia.
Trivia. There you go. All right. So again, the question as we come up on July 17th, on this date in history, 1941, Joe DiMaggio's remarkable 56-game hitting streak ended, but only because of 2 dynamite fielding plays by what Cleveland third baseman?
You're asking me to
think of
come up
Cleveland.
with an amazing Cleveland third
Right.
baseman.
Right. These were the Indians. It's all good. I don't think you'll get this guy's name if you just pulled 3 out of a hat and said choose one.
I don't have the answer,
Yeah.
so I'll just embarrass myself by not knowing
It's okay.
who it is. Go ahead.
It's trivia. It's a tough question. So the gentleman played for the Cleveland Indians from 1937 to 1949, 1 year in 1950 with the Red Sox. Third baseman, Ken Keltner. Ken Keltner.
Ken Keltner, we hardly knew ye.
Yep, but played 13 years, so it's a good career. And he's now the guy that we all know who stopped Joe DiMaggio's hitting streak. 56 games. Ken Keltner. Not a bad career, looking at his numbers, to be honest.
Now, do you know the other fun the other fun nugget about DiMaggio's hitting streak?
Tell me.
Well, obviously Ken Keltner stopped his 56-game hitting streak, and then the very next day, do you know he started a new hitting streak?
I do. I don't remember
Do you know
many.
how many games?
I don't. I did, but I don't know what it is right now. I feel like it was like 24 or 30.
Following the 56-game hitting streak,
Go ahead.
the very next day, DiMaggio went on to start a 16-game hitting
16.
streak.
Okay.
And let's see so he didn't get to 57, but what's 57 plus 16?
A lot.
A lot.
Yep. I don't do math.
No. And also, no player has been closer than Pete Rose with 44 in 1978.
That's outstanding. That's one that's never.
You ever play that beat the streak game where you can just pick a player every day?
Yes,
And
I have tried that. I can't get past like 3.
I used to do it a lot when Jeter was on the team, and he didn't get a lot of hits when I would pick him.
Yeah. You got to pick somebody else.
Yeah. Oh, well. All right. You have opinions just like we do. And of course, we would love to hear your opinions. A couple
Sure
ways
would.
you can send them our way. You can email us, feedback@chasefor28.com. You could also interact with the show on Twitter. We are at chasefor28pod. And we would love to hear your voice on the show. Shoot us a voicemail. Go to chasefor28.com/voicemail. Those links will be in our show notes, which are a swipe or a tap away wherever you're listening. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that description, take a look down below. Or if you're on your phone listening as a podcast, swipe or tap and send us those links. AJ, I think that'll do it for this episode of the show. This was fun.
Yeah, another good one. I look forward to the coming weeks, see what this team is doing, where we're at. We should be 10 games over 500 based on the series that we have, but see what happens.
You know, it's like inflation. 10 games over 500 doesn't buy what it used to.
No, not anymore.
All right. So again, we love hearing from you. Hit us up on Twitter. Send us a voicemail. If you want to support the show, AJ, what are the few ways that people can support this podcast?
I got 3 ways for you if you want to do this. So first, tell a fellow Yankee fan about the podcast. Word of mouth goes a long way in helping us reach new listeners. Number 2, become a legend by visiting chasefor28.com/legend and donating to the show. And then finally, number 3, if you want to show love for the Yankees and Chase for 28, visit chase28.com/merch and get your hands on some cool merchandise.
Yes. Also, links in the show notes. We've got our Penne alla Volpe t-shirt, the Volpe t-shirt itself with the Penne Pasta 11, chasefor28.com/Rizzo. Get your Nobody Beats the Riz shirt, our most popular shirt by far. Might have some new designs coming, so please stay tuned. I'm feeling creative. It's summertime.
Whoop. Shoot, baby. You need something like retro. You need like a Bernie Williams. Burn, baby, burn.
Burn. Yeah. Ooh. That's why I
You-
love you.
You got to go retro. I mean, that
That's why I
was
love you.
John Starling did that one, so you got to be careful with the trademark there. But
Did he trademark Burn Baby Burn?
maybe not. Just saying, be careful. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. I'll be careful. Also, before we go, we want to remind you to check out SeatGeek, the easiest way to buy tickets for sports, concerts, and more. Visit chasefor28.com/SeatGeek and use our promo code chasefor28 at checkout, and you can get $20 off your first purchase. AJ has done it. I have done it. So between us, we have saved $40.
Works.
Yes. AJ and I are still trying to coordinate our schedules and try to get to a Yankee game
Yes, sir.
this summer. So hopefully we'll be coming to the Bronx together. Thanks again for listening, and we will see you next time on the Chase for 28.
Let's go Yankees.